The down payment. We're giving the down payment to Marcus. Mom's voice cuts through the champagne toasts. And congratulations at my housewarming party. I'm standing in my new living room, the first home I've ever owned, surrounded by friends, coworkers, and family. My boyfriend Ryan's hand tightens on mine. What down payment? Ryan asks before I can process what's happening. Mom smiles. That same serene smile she's worn my entire life when redistributing my achievements to my younger brother. The one Grandpa Jim left for Natalie's first home. Marcus needs it more. His credit score isn't quite where it needs to be. And you know how hard he's been working on his music career. The room goes quiet. Not silent, but that uncomfortable hush where conversations die mid-sentence and everyone pretends to suddenly find their drinks fascinating. Grandpa left that money specifically for me. My voice sounds steadier than I feel. In his will. For my first home purchase. Well, yes, technically. Dad steps forward, his hand on Mom's shoulder in that united front they've perfected over 28 years of parenting. But Marcus is struggling, sweetheart. You have Ryan. You have your job at the hospital. Marcus is still finding himself. Marcus is 25 years old. He's been finding himself since high school graduation, which means he's been living in my parents' basement, occasionally busking downtown, and burning through 3 different sure-thing music opportunities that required my parents' investment. I worked full-time through nursing school. I picked up extra shifts for 3 years to save for this down payment, even though Grandpa's money was sitting in a trust account with my name on it. I wanted to prove I could do it myself, that I didn't need the inheritance, that I was responsible enough to own this achievement. The down payment from Grandpa was supposed to be my safety net, my celebration, my you-made-it moment. Marcus isn't on the deed to this house, I say slowly. This is my home. Grandpa's money was released to me when I closed on this property 2 weeks ago. It's in my account. Mom's smile doesn't waver. And I'm sure you can transfer it to Marcus's account tomorrow. He found a condo downtown, well, not quite downtown, more like the east side. But it has potential and the seller is motivated. He just needs $40,000 for the down payment. $40,000. The exact amount Grandpa left me. Ryan's jaw clenches. Natalie worked her ass off for this house. She doesn't owe Marcus anything. Family helps family. Dad's voice carries that disappointed tone I've heard 1,000 times. That's what Grandpa would have wanted. He'd want his grandchildren to help each other. But Grandpa didn't leave the money to his grandchildren. He left it specifically to me. I remember sitting in his hospital room 3 months before he died, his hand paper-thin in mine, while he explained why. You're the one who calls every week, Natalie. You're the one who visits. You're the one who'll use this money the right way. I'm not giving Marcus a dime until he grows up. And I'm telling you right now, don't let your parents guilt you into supporting his pipe dreams. This money is for your home. Promise me. He promised. Where's Marcus now? I ask, looking around the party. My brother hasn't shown his face, which isn't surprising. He rarely attends family events unless they're held at our parents' house, where the fridge is full and he doesn't have to bring anything. He's at home working on his demo, Mom says, and I catch the slight defensiveness in her tone. He wanted to be here, but inspiration struck, and you know how that is with artists. I don't know, actually, because I've never had the luxury of waiting for inspiration. I've had to show up for every shift, every exam, every responsibility, whether I felt inspired or not. My best friend Jenna appears at my elbow, her expression carefully neutral. Hey Nat, can I show you something in the kitchen? It's an escape route, and I should take it, but something in me has finally snapped. Maybe it's the audacity of my parents ambushing me at my own housewarming party. Maybe it's the way my coworkers are witnessing this dysfunction. Maybe it's the memory of Grandpa's hand in mine, making me promise not to let this exact thing happen. No, I say quietly. We're going to settle this right now. Mom blinks, surprised. I've never said no before. Not when she asked me to pay for Marcus's recording studio time. Not when she suggested I let Marcus borrow my car for 6 months because his was repossessed. Not when she volunteered me to cover Marcus's share of their anniversary dinner because he was between opportunities. Natalie, honey, don't make a scene. Mom glances around at our audience, her smile straining. I'm not making a scene. You brought this up at my party, in front of everyone. So let's discuss it in front of everyone. I set my wine glass down on the new coffee table I spent 3 months saving for. Grandpa left me that money for a specific purpose. I used it for that purpose. It's done. But Marcus' dad starts. Marcus has had every advantage I never got. You paid for his first car. You paid his rent when he moved out the first time. You've paid for 2 different music programs, studio time, equipment, and his living expenses for the past 7 years. What exactly have you paid for me since I turned 18? The question hangs in the air. I watch my father's face redden, and I feel a twinge of guilt, but I push through it. This is a question I should have asked years ago. We raised you, Mom says, her voice tight. We fed you, clothed you, gave you a home, until I was 18, which is called being a parent. Marcus is 25, and you're still supporting him. I'm not saying you shouldn't. He's your son, and if you want to keep funding his lifestyle, that's your choice. But I'm also your daughter, and I'm asking you to respect that Grandpa's gift was for me, not for Marcus. Ryan's thumb strokes the back of my hand. I can feel Jenna's supportive presence. My coworker Sandra from the ICU gives me a subtle nod. This is what I'm talking about, Tom. Mom turns to Dad, her voice rising. This is the selfishness we've been dealing with. She gets one inheritance, and suddenly she's too good to help her own brother. I'm not too good to help. I'm too tired to be used. The words come out before I can filter them, and the truth of them settles over me like a weight lifting. I am tired. Bone deep, soul-weary tired of being the responsible one, the reliable one, the one who's expected to sacrifice because I'm doing fine while Marcus is always struggling. Used? Mom's eyes go wide. You think we're using you? I think you're asking me to hand over $40,000 to someone who's never held a job longer than 3 months. I think you've asked me for money 17 times in the past 5 years I counted, and it's always for Marcus. I think you showed up at my housewarming party and tried to shame me into giving away Grandpa's gift in front of an audience because you knew I wouldn't want to make a scene. Well, you're making one now, Dad snaps. Good. And I mean it. For the first time in my life, I don't care about keeping the peace. Because this ends today. I'm not giving Marcus the down payment. I'm not lending him money. I'm not co-signing loans or covering his bills. If you want to support him, that's between you and him. Leave me out of it. Mom's face crumples. It's her signature move, the tears that make me feel like a monster, the trembling lip that signals I've gone too far. But this time, I recognize it for what it is. Manipulation. After everything we've done for you, she whispers. You haven't done anything for me since I left for college. And that's fine. I'm an adult. I figured it out. But don't stand in my house, the house I bought with my own money and my inheritance, and tell me I owe you or Marcus anything. My parents stare at me like I've grown a second head. In the corner of my vision, I see Marcus slip through the front door, clearly summoned by a text from Mom. He stops when he sees the scene, his expression calculating which way this might go. Hey sis, congrats on the house. Marcus's voice is casual, but his eyes are on Mom, reading her cues. Didn't mean to cause any drama. Mom just mentioned you might be willing to help me out with the condo situation. I'm not, I say simply. His eyebrows rise. Seriously? It's not like you need it. You already bought your place. With my money. That I earned. And Grandpa's money. That he left to me. Grandpa was loaded. He could have left us both something. He did. He left you a vintage guitar and his record collection. Because he knew you'd sell anything else for quick cash. Marcus's face darkens. It's true he sold the guitar 6 months after Grandpa died to fund a trip to Nashville that resulted in 0 contracts and a lot of Instagram posts. The records are probably in my parents' basement, untouched. You know what? Keep your money. Marcus throws up his hands. I should have known you'd be like this. You've always been selfish. The laugh that escapes me is harsh. I've been sending you $50 every week for the past year because Mom said you needed grocery money. I covered your phone bill for 6 months. I bought your Christmas presents for the family because you were short on cash. If that's selfish, I'd hate to see what generous looks like. Marcus goes pale. He didn't know I knew about the phone bill. Mom told him it was her covering it. The Christmas presents were supposed to be from both of us. The weekly $50 was supposedly a secret between siblings. Natalie, Mom starts, but I'm done. I need you all to leave. Now. You're kicking us out? Dad's voice rises in disbelief. This is my house, my party. And you've made it about Marcus's needs, like you make everything about Marcus's needs. I'm asking you to leave. For a long moment, nobody moves. Then Ryan steps forward. You heard her. Time to go. My parents exchange glances, some silent communication passing between them. Mom grabs her purse, Dad's jaw working like he's chewing nails. Marcus is already halfway to the door, probably texting someone about what a terrible person I am. Don't expect us at your wedding, Mom says as she passes. And it's meant to wound. We're not engaged, I say calmly, though Ryan's hand twitches in mine. But if we were, And this is how you'd react to me setting boundaries. Then maybe that's for the best. The door closes behind them with a decisive click. The party doesn't resume immediately. There's a moment of collective awkwardness where everyone seems to remember they just witnessed a family implosion. Then Jenna raises her glass to Natalie for finally telling them where to shove it. The tension breaks. Laughter ripples through the room. Sandra hugs me, whispering, "About damn time." My neighbor from upstairs, who I barely know, gives me a thumbs up. Ryan pulls me aside while the party restarts around us. "You okay?" "I don't know yet. Ask me tomorrow." But I do know. I'm lighter, freer. Like I've been carrying a backpack full of rocks and someone just told me I could set it down. The party winds down around 11. Ryan stays to help clean up, and as we're loading the dishwasher, my phone starts buzzing. A group text from my parents' side of the family, cousins, aunts, uncles I rarely see except at major holidays. "Aunt Carol, your mother is devastated. Uncle Jim, how could you embarrass them like that? Cousin Beth, Marcus told us what happened. That's really cold." The messages keep coming. A chorus of disapproval from people who've never once checked on me, never once offered to help when I was working doubles to make ends meet, never once questioned why Marcus has been unemployed for 7 years while I've been breaking my back at the hospital. I turn my phone face down. They're tag-teaming me. Ryan glances at the screen. "Want me to respond?" "No. I want to let them." I rinse a wine glass, watching the water swirl down the drain. They can say whatever they want. I know the truth. That night I sleep better than I have in months. No anxiety dreams about Marcus's latest crisis. No worry about when Mom will call asking for another favor. Just deep, dreamless sleep in my own house that nobody can take from me. Morning brings more texts, but also an unexpected email. It's from Grandpa's lawyer, the one who handled his estate. "Miss Harrison, I hope this email finds you well. I'm writing because your grandfather left specific instructions to be delivered if certain conditions were met. Based on the trust activity, I believe those conditions have now been satisfied. Your grandfather anticipated that your parents might pressure you regarding the inheritance. He left a letter for you, to be delivered only after you'd used the down payment money for its intended purpose. I'm attaching it here. Sincerely, Robert Chen, estate attorney." The attachment is a scanned letter in Grandpa's shaky handwriting. "Dear Natalie, if you're reading this, it means you bought your first home, and it probably means your mother tried to get you to give the money to Marcus. I knew she would. That's why I set up the trust the way I did. The money could only be released when you closed on a property in your name. Your grandmother and I made mistakes with your mom. We bailed her out too many times, never let her face consequences. She's doing the same thing with Marcus. Don't let her do it to you. You're the granddaughter who showed up, who called, who cared about an old man's stories even when they got repetitive. That money is yours because you earned it through simple human decency, which seems to be in short supply these days. Don't let them guilt you. Don't let them manipulate you. Live your life, be happy, and know that I'm proud of you. Love, Grandpa." I read it 3 times, tears blurring the words. Then I forward it to my parents. No message, just the letter. Let them sit with the fact that their own father saw through them. The response comes an hour later. "Just from Dad. We need to talk." "No," I type back. "We really don't." The days that follow are strange, quiet. My phone buzzes less. The family group chat continues without me. I've been removed, apparently. Some cousins reach out privately, asking for my side of the story. Others don't bother. Work becomes my refuge. The ICU is chaotic enough that I don't have time to dwell on family drama. My coworkers, who witnessed the whole thing at my party, circle around me with protective solidarity. Sandra brings me coffee without being asked. The charge nurse assigns me to the patients she knows I prefer. 2 weeks after the party, Marcus shows up at the hospital. Security calls up to my floor, asking if I want to see him. I almost say no, but curiosity wins. He's waiting in the lobby coffee shop, picking at a muffin. When he sees me, he doesn't smile. "I'm not here to ask for money," he says immediately. Good, because the answer would be no. I know. He looks different. Older, maybe, or just tired. I wanted to explain something. "You don't owe me an explanation." "Maybe not, but I'm going to give you one anyway." He takes a breath. "Mom's been calling me nonstop since your party. She wants me to tell everyone you're a terrible person, that you abandoned the family. And I've been going along with it because that's what I always do. That's what we've always done. Make you the bad guy so I don't have to look at my own shit. I wait. He's not done. But the truth is, I've known for years that this was messed up. The way they treat you versus how they treat me. How you're expected to have your life together while I'm allowed to fail over and over. I've been taking advantage of it because it's easy. Why work hard when mom will bail me out? Why grow up when you're there to pick up the slack? Is this the part where you apologize? I'm getting there. A ghost of a smile. I'm sorry, Nat. For all of it. For the money you sent me that I spent on bullshit. For letting mom and dad make you the villain. For showing up at your party expecting you to hand over 40 grand like it was nothing. The apology lands differently than I expected. Not healing, exactly, but acknowledged. What changed? I ask. Grandpa's letter. Mom showed it to me, trying to prove he was being unfair. But all I saw was, he was right. About her, about me, about everything. Marcus crumbles the muffin wrapper. I got a job. A real one. Barista at a chain downtown. It's not glamorous, and it's not music, but it's something I show up for every day. I'm moving into a studio apartment with my own money, and I'm going to pay you back every dollar I owe you. You don't have to. I do. I'm keeping a list. Every $50, every phone bill, every Christmas present. I'm paying it back. It's going to take a while, but I need to do this. For me more than for you. We sit in silence for a moment, the hospital cafeteria bustling around us. An announcement crackles overhead. Calling a doctor to surgery. Are we good? Marcus asks finally. We're not good, but we might get there eventually. I'll take it. He stands, leaving a 20 on the table for coffee he barely touched. For what it's worth, your house is really nice. You should be proud. He's gone before I can respond, and I'm left staring at the $20 bill, the first money Marcus has ever voluntarily given me. That evening, Ryan and I are painting the second bedroom my future office, once I save up for furniture. My phone rings, and I almost ignore it until I see the name. Aunt Lisa, my mom's older sister. Hello? Natalie, honey, I am so sorry. Aunt Lisa's voice is warm, apologetic. I just talked to your mother, and I need you to know that some of us see exactly what's been going on. Oh. I set down my paint roller, surprised. Your mom called me crying about your betrayal, and when I dug into what actually happened, I wanted to drive over there and shake some sense into her. She's been enabled your entire life, and now she's doing it to Marcus. Your grandpa was right to protect that money for you. Tears prick my eyes. I didn't realize how much I needed someone from my family to see it, to validate that I'm not crazy or selfish or cruel. Thank you, I whisper. I should have said something years ago. I watched them treat you like the backup plan while Marcus got to be the star, and I told myself it wasn't my place to interfere. That was wrong. You deserved better. We talk for an hour. Aunt Lisa fills me in on family history. I never knew how my mom was the youngest, how grandma and grandpa struggled with boundaries, how the pattern repeated itself. It doesn't excuse anything, but it helps me understand. What do I do now? I ask. You keep living your life, honey. You set boundaries, you stick to them, and you let your parents sit with the consequences of their choices. They'll either figure it out or they won't. But that's not your responsibility. After we hang up, Ryan finds me crying in the bedroom doorway, paint speckled and emotionally wrung out. Bad news? He asks. Good news, actually. I think I might have one relative who gets it. He holds me, swaying slightly in the half-painted room. You know what we need? What? A real housewarming party. Just us, your real friends, and none of the drama. We host it 3 weeks later. The guest list is carefully curated: Jenna, Sandra, my ICU crew, Ryan's friends, my neighbor from upstairs, Aunt Lisa and her husband. Marcus sends a text asking if he can come, and after discussing it with Ryan, I tell him yes. He shows up with a plant, a small succulent, in a handmade pot. I made the pot in a ceramics class I'm taking at the community center, he says awkwardly. Thought you might want something living in your new place. It's not much, but it's something. A start. The party is everything the first one wasn't. Relaxed, joyful, free of obligation. We grill burgers in my tiny backyard, play ridiculous board games, and stay up too late drinking wine and telling stories. Around midnight, as people are leaving, Jenna pulls me aside. You look different, she says. Lighter. I feel different. Good. You deserve to be free of that bullshit. She hugs me tight. Your real family is the people who show up because they want to, not because they need something from you. After everyone's gone, Ryan and I sit on the back patio, listening to the neighborhood settle into sleep. My phone is blessedly quiet. No emergency texts from Mom. No requests from Marcus. Just peace. Do you regret it? Ryan asks. Standing up to them? No. Not even a little bit. I lean into him, staring up at the stars barely visible through the city light. I regret not doing it sooner. What about your parents? Think they'll come around? Honestly, I don't know. And I'm okay with that. I turn to look at him. I spent my whole life trying to be the daughter they wanted, trying to make up for Marcus's failures, trying to prove I was worth loving. But I'm done auditioning. If they want a relationship with me, they know where I am. But it's going to be on my terms, not theirs. Ryan kisses my forehead. Have I mentioned lately that you're kind of a badass? You might have implied it. We sit there until the early hours, talking about the future. Maybe engagement, maybe marriage, maybe kids someday. Maybe none of those things. The point is, it's our choice, our life, not dictated by my parents' needs or Marcus's crises. The next morning, there's an envelope tucked under my front door. No return address, just my name in Dad's handwriting. Inside is a check for $5,000 and a note. Natalie, this doesn't fix anything, and it's not enough, but it's a start. This is what we should have contributed to your house. What we would have given if we'd been thinking clearly. You didn't ask for it, and you don't have to accept it, but I wanted you to know we're trying. Dad. I stare at the check for a long time. $5,000. A fraction of what they've given Marcus over the years, but more than they've ever offered me unprompted. It's not about the money. It's about acknowledgement. About them seeing, finally, that the scales have been unbalanced for decades. I take a photo of the check and text it to Marcus. Did you know about this? His response comes quickly. Yeah. I told them they needed to make it right. Or at least try. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. I've got a long way to go, but I'm working on it. I deposit the check that afternoon, then transfer $500 of it to a savings account I label Marcus Repayment. When he starts paying me back, I'll match every dollar he sends until he's whole. Not because I need his money, but because I want him to know I believe he can change. The holidays approach, and with them comes the inevitable question, what about Christmas? Mom calls 3 weeks before, her voice tight. Your Aunt Lisa told me she's coming to your house for Christmas dinner. She is. I invited her. I see. A long pause. Are we invited? The question hangs in the air, heavy with implication. This is the moment where I could cave, where I could smooth everything over and pretend the past 2 months didn't happen. Are you going to respect my boundaries? I ask instead. What boundaries? No asking me for money for Marcus. No guilting me about family obligations. No trying to make me responsible for his choices or yours. Can you do that? Another pause. You're really going to hold this over us forever? I'm not holding anything over you, Mom. I'm asking for basic respect. If you can't give me that, then no, you're not invited. Fine. The word is clipped. We'll stay home. Hope you enjoy your perfect little holiday without us. She hangs up before I can respond, and I'm left holding the phone, heart pounding. It hurts. Of course it hurts. They're my parents. But the hurt is different now, cleaner, somehow. Not the deep ache of being used, but the sharp pain of necessary surgery. Ryan finds me standing in the kitchen, phone still in hand. They're not coming, I say. I figured. He wraps his arms around me from behind. You okay? Yeah, I am, actually. Christmas morning dawns clear and cold. Aunt Lisa arrives first, bearing gifts and homemade cookies. Marcus shows up next, nervously holding a gift bag. I wasn't sure if I should bring anything, he admits. You're here. That's enough. We spend the day cooking together, laughing over kitchen disasters and telling stories. Aunt Lisa shares memories of Grandpa I've never heard. Marcus talks about his barista job, how he's learning latte art, how it feels good to show up somewhere and be relied upon. Around 3 p.m. my phone buzzes. A text from Mom. Merry Christmas, Natalie. We miss you. I stare at it for a long moment, then type back. Merry Christmas. I miss you too. When you're ready to talk, really talk, I'm here. Read receipts show she's seen it. No response comes, but that's okay. Seeds are planted. Growth takes time. That evening, as we're cleaning up, Marcus pulls me aside. This is nice, he says quietly. Like, really nice. I didn't know it could be like this. Like what? Easy. No drama, no weird tension. Just family hanging out because they want to. It can always be like this, Marcus. It just takes everyone deciding they want it more than they want to be right. He nods slowly. Mom and Dad aren't there yet. No, but maybe someday. And if they never are? Then we build our own family. The one we choose. New Year's Eve, Ryan proposes. Not at a fancy restaurant or on a vacation, but in our living room, surrounded by the life we've built together. The ring is simple, perfect, and wholly unexpected. I was going to wait, he admits. But life's too short. You've taught me that. You cut off the people who were draining you, and you made space for the people who fill you up. I want to be the person who fills you up for the rest of your life. I say yes through happy tears, and we call Jenna first, then Aunt Lisa, then Marcus. I don't call my parents. Not yet. That news can wait until I'm ready. Until I know they won't turn my engagement into another crisis about Marcus. The announcement goes up on social media 2 days later. Within an hour, my phone explodes. Congratulations from friends, from coworkers, from cousins I haven't spoken to in years. And then, a text from Mom. I saw your news. Congratulations. I'd like to talk if you're willing. I'm willing, I type back. But same conditions as before. Respect my boundaries or we have nothing to discuss. I understand. Can I call you? Tomorrow. After work. I'm a nervous wreck all day, running through scenarios in my head. Will she apologize? Double down? Try to manipulate her way back into my life? When my shift ends, I sit in my car for 10 minutes, building up courage, before dialing. Natalie. Mom's voice is tentative, lacking its usual confidence. Hi, Mom. Congratulations on your engagement. Ryan seems like a good man. He is. Silence stretches between us, awkward and unfamiliar. We've never been at a loss for words before, but we've also never had an honest conversation. Your Aunt Lisa talked to me, Mom finally says, about a lot of things, about how we've treated you, about how we've enabled Marcus. And your father and I have been really thinking about what you said at your party. And you were right, about most of it. She sounds like the words are being pulled from her with pliers. We did expect more from you because you were capable of more. And we did give Marcus every excuse because we were afraid he couldn't handle disappointment. And we did. We did use you. I don't think we meant to, but that doesn't change the fact that we did. It's not a full apology, but it's more than I expected. I appreciate you saying that. I don't know if I can change overnight, she continues. I've been this way for a long time. But I'm trying. We both are. Your father started going to therapy, if you can believe it. And I've been meeting with your Aunt Lisa weekly to talk through some things. That's good, Mom. Really good. Can we be part of your wedding? Not run it, not take over, just be there as your parents? The question catches me off guard. I'd assumed they'd be excluded, had already started planning a small wedding where their absence wouldn't be notable. I need to think about it, I say honestly. This is still really fresh, and I need to see if the changes stick. But I'm not saying no. That's fair. A pause. I love you, Natalie. I know I haven't always shown it the right way, but I do love you. I love you too, Mom. We talk for another 20 minutes, carefully navigating topics that used to be minefields. She asks about the wedding without trying to control it. She mentions Marcus's job without asking me to help him. Small steps, but steps nonetheless. The months that follow are a gradual thaw. My parents come to dinner once a month, bearing food or wine, respecting the boundaries we've set. Marcus continues working, continues paying back small amounts, continues showing up. It's not perfect, but it's real in a way our relationship never was before. The wedding planning is surprisingly drama-free. Mom offers opinions when asked and stays quiet when she's not. Dad walks me through venues without once suggesting we downsize to save money for Marcus. When they find out we're having a small ceremony, just 30 people, they accept it without complaint. Marcus is invited but not in the wedding party. He understands why. The day itself is perfect in its simplicity. Aunt Lisa cries during the ceremony. Jenna's maid of honor speech is equal parts heartfelt and hilarious. Ryan's vows make me cry, and mine make him laugh. And when we're pronounced husband and wife, the cheers from our small crowd feel like the validation I've spent a lifetime seeking. At the reception, Dad approaches me during a quiet moment. You look happy, sweetheart. Really happy. I am, Dad. Really am. I'm sorry we almost cost you this happiness, this life. I'm sorry we took so long to see what we were doing to you. It's the first time he's fully apologized, and the weight of it settles over me like a blanket. Thank you for saying that. Your grandpa would be proud of you. You know that, right? The house, the boundaries, standing up for yourself. He'd be so damn proud. My eyes fill with tears. I hope so. I know so. He hugs me, and for the first time in years it feels genuine. Love you, kiddo. Love you too, Dad. Later, as Ryan and I are leaving for our honeymoon, Marcus catches me at the car. Hey, I wanted to give you this. He hands me an envelope. It's not much, but it's a start on what I owe you. Inside is $500 in cash, and a handwritten note listing every debt he remembers, totaling nearly $8,000. Marcus, you don't have to. I do. I'm up to $300 a month now with my promotions. I'll have it paid off in a few years. But I wanted you to go on your honeymoon knowing I'm serious about this. About changing. About being better. About being the brother you deserved all along. I hug him, and he hugs back, and for a moment we're just siblings without the baggage of golden child and scapegoat. I'm proud of you, I whisper. Learn from the best, he says. Ryan and I drive away into the sunset, literally and figuratively, leaving behind the old patterns and embracing the life we've chosen. My phone stays mostly silent during our honeymoon. No emergency calls, no crisis texts, just the occasional congratulations message and updates from friends. On our last night in Mexico, sitting on the beach watching the waves, Ryan asks, "Any regrets?" About what? All of it. The confrontation, the boundaries, potentially missing years with your family. I think about it seriously. About the pain of that housewarming party. About the loneliness of holidays without my parents. About the hard conversations and harder decisions. No, I say finally, because I didn't lose my family. I lost the dysfunction. And I gained something better, a family that's choosing to be healthy, to be real, to be present. That's worth all of it. Even if they hadn't changed? Even then, because I changed. I learned my worth isn't measured by how much I sacrifice or how much I endure. It's inherent. And that lesson was worth the cost. He kisses me as the sun sets over the Pacific, and I think about Grandpa's letter, about his hope that I'd be happy. I am, Grandpa. I really am. We return home to our house, to jobs we love, to a life we've built deliberately and carefully. Some Sundays we have dinner with my parents, and some Sundays we don't. Marcus texts occasionally with updates on his repayment plan and his life. Jenna remains my constant, my rock, my chosen sister. It's not a fairy tale ending. There's no magic moment where everything is perfect and healed, but it's real, it's honest, and it's mine. And that, I'm learning, is enough.